Hello everyone, I'm LonTr0, here to do a Splatoon 3 any percent speedrun to start off AGDQ 2023.
Nobobin. I'm a Splatoon 3 speedrunner, and I've done a lot of work in writing this game.
I'm Adept CS. I'm mostly known in the community for being a Splatoon 2 one trick, but I've also done a bit of routing in this game, found a couple key discoveries along with Nabobin. Super excited to be here.
All right, we're going to talk a little bit more about Splatoon 3 and its mechanics as we get into this, but let's just get started. In 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so welcome to the world of Splatoon 3 any percent, and the run is split up into 3 different sections. First, we got the crater, then we're going to have Alterna, and then the rocket section at the end. And the crater is structured pretty similar to the first 2 Splatoon games, where we have linear stages, Zapfish at the end, and then a boss. It's even like played as a repeat a little bit because Captain Cuttlefish is talking to here. The Octarians are back again! Like, there's no way. But if you've never seen a Splatoon run before, I basically got a kid form, I got an octo form. In kid form, I can use a main weapon to spread around ink, and then I got subs for utility. I can go into octo form to swim around faster, and that forms a lot of the movement in this game. But they also added squid surges and squid rolls as new movement mechanics, which we're going to be seeing a lot of, and it's the reason why in just 4 months, this is the most broken game in the series.
It really is just so crazy just how broken this game is just with those 2 mechanics alone. Like, squid rolls just give us a lot more distance than usual, and squid surges just give us a lot more height than usual, and that just is really useful just for getting to places where we shouldn't really be.
And if you don't really know what we're talking about yet, don't worry. I'm sure we'll point those out as we get to them. But we're getting into the first crater level here, which I think is as go in a straight line as you can possibly get in this game because it's structured as go in a straight line.
I know, it's like they really wanted to start you off with something nice and basic and easy, ease you in. It's like, wow. It just gets us started. This run just builds upon itself pretty quickly.
To also mention, on Splatoon 3, we also have access to Small Fry, which we just use there. If you can throw your little buddy at various things, in this case we popped the balloon with it, you can do a bit of damage. You can ink some switches sometimes with it. Really, it's just a great utility piece that we have to start off the run with. We're going to have it throughout the run, so we'll definitely be using it a lot. We can also pop the Zapfish bubbles at the end of levels with it. And starting off on a 29, really solid start there.
Oh yeah. But yeah, another thing that Small Fry can do is eat these fuzz balls that are blocking our path. Essentially, you get power eggs from stages, and you use Small Fry and those power eggs to eat these fuzz balls, and that opens up new paths. And that's a lot of how this speedrun is going to go, is managing power eggs to open up the paths that we need to go to for the run.
Yep, crater here is really straightforward, so it's just going to give us all the eggs we need, just straightforward. But once we get to the alternate section, that's when things are just going to really pick up, and you're just going to see a lot of skips.
Yeah, speaking of this one right here, if you'd like to talk about it.
Sure. So a new thing they added in this Splatoon 3 series is that basically we have a splashdown now. It was a multiplayer special back in Splatoon 2, and it wasn't really that useful there. But here, we can use it for so many things. Like right here, we're going to charge it up as soon as we can. And we're going to hop off this ledge here and hopefully hit a checkpoint. Let's go. And that will basically allow us to skip the whole stage by respawning at this checkpoint.
Very nice.
And that's just one of the uses splashdown I've seen in the Splatoon 3 run. There's like a ton of other places we can use it. We might not see it too much in this run, but it has a lot of uses, let's just say.
Got a 24 there as well. That's really good.
Yeah, 24. Really solid start to the run so far. Those are, I think, both faster than any times that I've gotten at those levels. So we get a little bit more lore here from Cuttlefish, but I think we're going to be going into the next Small Fry section and see creative. Explain in a little bit. We got to get there first. I think we should probably mention that we can skip some of these fuzzy oozes in the crater, but the final fuzzy ooze that you clear to get to the boss doesn't unlock until you've beaten all 4 levels. So we just have no reason not to play through crater like normal.
So we're
That's
going
why
to
not
do
gonna skip the lunch.
we're gonna do this clip right here with small fry. Try to line this up really precise. Come on, there it is. You can clip small fry into that lockbox right there, and skip the need for a key like that. And then I can use a squid surge up this switch, get the second one, and just like that, I've got all the keys that I need to get through C3 right here, finishing it in incredibly fast time.
Yep. Usually you would need like 4 keys to get through a whole level, like casually and whatnot, but just with that, we can just lower it down to like 2 or even 1 key with some other strats.
Mm-hmm.
And you might have seen there, we quit out of the game. It is around 2 seconds faster to quit out of the game because the game basically saves to completion once we touch the Zapfish. So we quit out, we come back in, and it skips some dialogue after we exit the stage. And there's going to be, I think, 2 other quit outs in the run that will do to save time.
That's right. Alright, we're just gonna go over to our last normal crater stage here, C4. Nothing crazy going on here. This one is more just movement based.
Yeah, there's not really much to say. Small fry will be pretty useful in this stage just for basically manipulating the enemies or making enemy routing easier because we need to kill some enemies before we're allowed to proceed. Like, because if we don't kill these enemies...
Small fry is very good at getting aggro and distracting enemies, so you can use them like that to manipulate the enemies how I want it to be. And I can try to get this precise throw. I think that worked. We'll see. Yeah, it did.
Yep.
I got a little egg from the side there.
So small fry just like killed an enemy there.
Yeah. Saves us having to go back, puts us right by this exit, which is what we want.
Very nice.
Just basically saves a little bit of time. Nice.
Yeah, really good time as well.
All right, I'm going to do something a little bit stylish. This one's for the fans, you know? There's this 1,000 egg ball at the end right here that I would have to normally get into the corner or go down. Do this jump off and die in the cutscene. And this will just proceed as normal, and it looks sick.
That was the fuzzball Adam was mentioning earlier. It doesn't spawn until we complete all 4 levels, so...
That's right.
And we need to...
Crater is kind of airtight.
we need to unlock the boss fight with everybody's favorite DJ Octavio, back for another shot of defeating us.
Are we already at the end of the run?
Well, it's crazy. It's the final boss, guys. I think we're going to be a little bit underestimate here. But yeah. This fight is very straightforward. We're just going to be hitting back fists and using splashdowns to make some attacks faster. I think right now would be a great time for a few donations.
Before we do that, actually,
alrighty.
Do we want to fit one in and then explain Octavio RNG?
It's fine.
Okay.
All right, then I'll take that as my sign to take over. Let's kick it off with a $50 donation here from our friend Julie that says, "It's that time of year again. I've watched GDQ for so many years. Since I was a kid, I had always wanted to donate, and this is the first year I could. Good luck to all the runners this year, and Splatoon 3 hype!" I got a $25 donation here from King J0444 that says, "Greetings from the Splatoon speedrunning Discord watch party VC. Good luck, LonTr0. You're gonna kill it, and the whole community is cheering you on. It's awesome seeing how big this community has continued to grow and how far you are pushing all the games in the series to their absolute limits. I'll add another $10 if you get first try Owen skip, and let's keep pushing for that after Alterna showcase."
Thank you.
Here's a $20 donation from Balam Soldier that says, "Can we get a donation chain with everyone's Splatfest team? Go Team Spicy!" And as a member of Team Spicy myself, correct answer.
All right, I think time for one more.
One more, then here is Paradox Optimus with a $100 donation that says, my first time ever donating. When I saw Splatoon 3 up first, I knew I had to jump in. Good luck on the run, and shout out to Team Sweet for the Splatfest.
Alright, so we just got through the first couple of phases of Octavio, and during each of these phases, Octavio does a jump to one of 3 sides halfway through, and that is actually not random. It is determined by, believe this, Small Fry's haircut. So before we started the run, I chose Small Fry Haircut 3, which is like this mohawk, and that gives me a center left Octavio pattern, which is very fast. It's also going to manipulate some smaller things throughout the run as well.
Yeah, I remember whenever the idea was first pitched that maybe like character customization played a role in RNG, and we're like, nah, that could be possible.
Yeah,
it sounded so silly.
Yeah, I believe actually I was the one who originally pitched that, and I was met with a lot of skepticism. And then we did research, and all of a sudden everybody was doing research, and there's a lot we still don't know, but we know it for DJ Octavio.
Yeah,
and yeah, we're gonna close up the game here to save. I think it's roughly 35 seconds.
That's about right. Yeah.
Us falling into a hole and getting separated from Captain Cuttlefish. But why do that when you can just close and reopen the game?
Of course.
A really nice just quality of life thing, just because there's so many cutscenes in this game. It's nice to be able to at least skip some of them just for free. Just
since they don't give us a skip button.
It would be nice if we had a skip button, but I guess that's part of what makes this game a little bit more special, just that we have a lot of ways to get past them.
Exactly. Not too bad so far. Now we are in the Alterna segment of the run. Alterna is split up into 6 different zones, and in those zones there are 3 different bosses. We have to take down all 3 of those bosses to proceed to the next part of the run, and we're going to have to visit each zone at some point to actually get to all of them. So essentially how the routing has evolved over the last 4 months is, what is the minimum amount we can do in those zones to take out those bosses? That's always been the question, and you're going to get to see the answer to that today, because trust me, it's not a lot.
Yeah, I believe in this game they routed in 60-something levels, including the bosses. We're going to do a couple less than that, I believe.
Just a couple less.
Only a few.
No big deal.
Yeah. But first, the Squid Sisters and Captain 3 are going to break down how Alterna works, which we just explained. So we're just going to mash through this pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. I would even say it's a good time for a couple of more donations before we get into some pretty gameplay intense stuff.
Alrighty then, a couple more donations we shall have. Here is a $333 donation from 4th Strongest. They were so close. That says, I love Splat 3. Thank you for that. I love the $333. The donations are already climbing very high. I really appreciate all of you. Here's Splat Moss with a $250 donation that simply says, woo me! And I would be remiss not to shout out our friend Anon or Anonymous, who sends in so many donations that we can never get to them all. But this one is just $10 that simply says, start of stream hype. Thank you so much, Anonymous. Wow, $10 here from Lacey that says, Splatoon 3 any percent is always super fun to watch. Best of luck to LonTr0. Hope we can see that after Alterna run as well. Speaking of, the after Alterna incentive is currently at $5,878 out of only 7,500 needed. We're going to crack that in no time at all. And then there's more Splatoon 3 for you all to watch.
Let's go.
That's going to be really awesome. Way different than anything else we do in the course of the run. So if that's something that you're excited to see, give it some love if you're able to.
Okay, so we're going into first stage of Alterna, only choice, because we really don't have any other choices to go forward right now. There are 3 keys in this stage, and there is a thing that we can do called key skip. You can just go down the left side and skip this right key, and it would require a very precise squid roll. I'm gonna do it once after grabbing all 3 keys for the fans, just so you can see what it's like, but it only saves about 25 seconds and it's pretty unreliable. So Not going to
just-
send it all the way.
Yeah, it's super precise. Like, it's hard. That's all I can really say.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes it feels consistent some days, and then some days, like, you just can't hit it for the life of you, and you, like, lose minutes off of it.
One attempt for the fans, though.
Yeah. Otherwise, the rest of this movement is pretty straightforward. We would grab that third key, but it's time to key skip.
So close.
That was really close, though.
But you can kind of see the general idea. Like, you had to be like you had to basically squid roll to the left on that last, basically the last pixel of that ledge, and then you can just barely reach the edge, and then skip grabbing a key. And that's just one of the places where squid roll is basically busted in this game. Like, we wouldn't be able to make that jump normally, but squid roll makes it barely possible because of all the speed we get from squid rolling.
All right. So before we go into the next stage here, I'm going to be picking up a sunken scroll. We're going to be picking up a bunch of decorations and collectibles and scrolls and whatever throughout the run. Our goal is to get to 18 upgrade points, which you get from those things, before we get into Site 4's boss, I believe. So grab this, it gives me an upgrade point. As long as I'm able to get to 18 there, we're going to get some very important upgrades for the run. That will save a bunch of time.
Yep. And that's part of what makes this route so interesting. Is just like we just route in a bunch of egg containers, collectibles, just so that we can save as much time as we can.
By the way, the world record in that stage is 1.98 seconds. Just thought I should mention.
And 2 is still pretty cool. You can pause the stage to end it a little bit faster on IGT. Doesn't
Yep.
save as much in real time, but just a cool little tidbit of knowledge.
All right, I'm going to be attempting something coming up called Deep Cutscene Skip. It's pretty precise, saves a minute 20, and I only get one try, so I'm going to try and focus for this part.
Yep. Right here, you're gonna see one of the first fuzz skips in the run. There's this 800 fuzz to our right here, and we're just gonna basically just hop around the left side here. So let's just see. Very nice. Wait for a second.
Yes, dude. Okay.
Let's go.
Nice.
So that's
I was so worried about that.
So basically, right there, the cutscene is kind of deactivated, I would say, like while the fuzz is disappearing. So if we squeeze for it just fast enough, then we can just skip the cutscene altogether. So, and that saves like a minute 20. It's like really insane.
It's very important that you hit that when you're going for a good time. It's a very stressful part right there. And it only works because the ooze is disappearing, so you only have one shot on it per file, so it's really annoying to practice and get ready on it.
Yeah.
You don't really just do more runs and try.
And here you're just gonna see we have like a bunch of sections where we're just going around collecting power rays and collectibles, like this side here, so that we can just get to level 2 shot, which will save time just in painting and also damage output.
The damage output's going to be very important for a boss we're about to fight.
We also need 1,000 power eggs to get there, which you might see we're a little bit short on at the moment, so we just have a nice route here to grab whatever we need.
Technically, you're supposed to have 1,900 to get there, but we're going to do something called discount fries to save the 900 with that fuzz just to the left of me. We're going to see it pretty soon. I got to go down here first, though. And use small fry there to get that 25 egg patch while I'm doing the rest of this route.
There's a really great example of small fry slowly dealing damage to things. We just end up taking it out, we don't need to spend time actually uncovering that ourselves.
Okay, let's see if I can do this. Ooh. Yeah, that jump was really bad. Okay, it's fine.
It's fun.
Good. I'm fine
So,
with the
yeah.
second try.
that saved like 800 eggs, and we're gonna break open that box because the box being broken stays in between stage completion. So basically, once we come back there, we can just pick up the side immediately. That saved a little bit of time.
Yep.
And then we're gonna be getting into the first boss of the run. Who is this person again? I don't think we've seen her yet.
No, we haven't been introduced yet, actually.
I mean, that's why the names are all question marks.
Yeah. Fry. Oh, hello, what's up?
It's Fry. It's Fry of the Idol Group Deep Cut that we didn't meet earlier. How convenient.
Yeah, Fry is going to have a bunch of eels and an Octostomp. Fry, language. You're going to get banned on GDQ. But, yeah, we're going to have this Octostomp in the middle and eels, and we're going to just do our best to work with it here.
Yeah, this is probably one of the biggest. This is probably one of the biggest points of RNG in the run.
Because of that.
Yeah, basically.
Because
we don't want to see that dash
can
attack.
Randomly lose us 2 seconds for no reason. Also, her attack in here in first phase is random. We think that's also determined by character customization, but really, we don't know enough about it yet. We're still working on it. So.
Yeah, Fry is one of those things I think we're pretty close to actually being able to crack, besides the dash. The dash is just weird.
Phase 2 and Phase 3, though, are pretty scripted. We'll always get a Whirlpool attack here in Phase 2. We just need to target down the eels with black outlines around their eyes. That was something that it took us as a community much longer to learn.
Yeah, I remember thinking you just had to always just shoot every eel or whatever, and I just didn't understand that until a little bit.
Understanding basic boss design takes speedrunners longer than you think sometimes. I don't know.
Imagine.
It's worth noting, if you ever tried to do this boss with an unupgraded hero shot, you probably weren't having a good time. Getting that one upgrade makes this all of a sudden much more manageable. As we go into Phase 3, the Great Warrior Transformation.
Here's another use of that splashdown we talked about. So that'll just get rid of a bunch of the eels and make that part of the fight really fast.
Alright. Had a dash, but that's not too bad. Yeah, I had most of them down with that splashdown.
Yeah, you got all but 3, so that was much better. You can sometimes get them all if you're really lucky, or sometimes you can be left with a dozen. And it's pretty tough to know which one you're getting.
I have literally never seen getting all of them with one splashdown. That's how rare it is.
Here we'll be picking up our first piece of treasure. Unlike an Ox expansion, doesn't really look much yet. We're working on it. We're working on making this look like something. And even when you have them all, they don't really look like much. But random piece of scrap metal that Fry was guarding.
Here we're going to do like a little bit more routing just before we get into Site 3, which is probably going to be one of the most...
It's
probably
like
one of the hardest routes in the game. Not hard, but just a lot more complex than it usually would be.
routing intensive is what I would say, because it's just
That's a better way
it's
to
complicated. But this was one of the optimizations that I worked on myself. I think Site 3 and Site 4 was a lot of what I wanted to work on.
Yeah, you really came up with a lot of stuff just to help us save like just a few seconds, which was pretty nice.
Yeah, I'm not about those big time saves that we're about to see pretty soon, but
for the most part, just about grabbing things. We'll do a skip using the squid roll early on here to clear just barely the side of a 600 power egg fuzzy ooze.
This
So
one
hopefully
right
get his
here.
first try.
Very
Nice.
nice.
Very nice.
And
oh, I almost just walked into that.
would have been rough.
We could have seen the skip twice.
Would have been funny. I'm gonna grab that kettle. It's just a backup.
And here we're just
And
gonna
bring it around town.
this is just a very dense spot of the run in terms of grabbing power eggs and upgrades. So we needed to get to that 18 magic number that we had in mind.
Okay.
Small fry doing us a favor.
Couple shots in that kettle. Okay. Ah, not quite. Okay, that's fine.
Good thing you unlocked that kettle, though. Now we can just
Yeah.
jump back here and just...
If I didn't
give it
unlock
another
that,
go.
I'd have to do a lot of that side through again.
Basically, we're just trying to get damage on that kettle so we can just jump to it and skip paying, I think it's 800 eggs or something for that fuzz in
I think
between.
700. 700. What does it matter? We skip it anyways.
Okay,
True.
this is just... I'm not sure if that worked. It might. I'm not sure, though. Cool. Alright, so that there was called Moxie Skip. And essentially what that did was I died far enough into that fuzzy ooze that it set my checkpoint to be right before the pipe. So I could skip eating that 2000, the fuzz right there. And that's a lot of power eggs. That's like more than one stage's worth. Good amount of time save.
And it also lets us basically beeline straight to that boss kettle here in Site 4. Gotta grab a couple power eggs on the way. We're still a little short of where we want to be. A couple upgrade points as well. We're still at 13, we need to be at 18.
Yeah, and this route is just going to be grabbing a bunch more of the power eggs we need. Just grabbing all these, the egg container, like, there's like a lot we've already grabbed in this run. They just save us from having to play a few levels. Like, because we basically have our choice of any levels we want to play, but going into a level is pretty slow. Like, the loading times take a while, even if the stage is pretty fast. It can still take like a minute just to complete the whole thing. So we just want to avoid that as much as we can.
Site 5 is the best example of that. There's a stage with a 16-second load.
Yeah.
It really is quite tragic that there's a bunch of levels involving a special that we'll hopefully see a little bit of later that are just notoriously slow at loading and have been routed out as we found more and more things.
Yeah, I'm going through the Site 4 right now, grabbing a bunch of power eggs. And with this fuzz and this CD right here, I'm gonna have 18 upgrade points, and I can start doing some upgrades. Gonna get these splat bombs. They're not that important, but they do help for a couple of things. The sensor, which is gonna be really important for a boss coming up. And then the level 3 hero shot is the main thing we're after here. This is going to speed up every boss fight for the rest of the run by a lot, as we'll soon see.
Oh, you really do get there early.
Yeah, I know, right?
Extremely optimal balloon timing.
I remember in the beginning of this game's lifespan, we didn't even know that rail existed for a while, and then we were like, oh yeah, the rail exists. We can just take that and save like 1,500 eggs or something.
So, a lot of the importance of level 3 shot is in this fight itself with Shiver. Shiver is going to have the shark named Master Mega that circles around the actual arena itself, and it's going to do almost no attacks with the level 3 shot. It saves like 35 seconds or something because of that. Very convenient.
Just
But
from
at the
this
same...
fight alone.
Yeah. I think now would be a good time for a few donations because we're going to get into hardest part of the run pretty soon.
Copy that. Then here's a $100 donation from Oboe Master Ozzy that says, my boys LonTr0, Adapt, and Nobabin on the big stage introducing Splatoon 3 to the world, making us proud. Love you guys. Donation goes to the After Alterna incentive, and as an extra bonus, I'll donate an extra $50 for every major skip done first try. I hope you're keeping track. And $100 if LonTr0 can beat After Alterna first try. No pressure, smiley face. Good luck, bud.
Thank you, Oboe.
Here's a $5 donation from Moxie that says, howdy, good luck with the run, and hopefully after Alterna. I can't think of a better trio of people to represent this game and community. You all make the community a better place by existing. Thanks for helping out so much when learning these games. As someone who also tried to learn Splatoon 3 speedrunning, I can agree. Thank you so much. And wow, speaking of the incentive, we're already at $7,486 out of $7,500 needed. We are less than $14 away.
Let's go.
Let's go. That's gonna be such a fun run if we get there.
Righty, here is $20 from Link HS that says, make that Woomy go zoomy. Another $100 donation from I Am Gibbon that says, hype to see Splat 3 at the start of the marathon. Looking forward to seeing how much the community can pull together this year. Hashtag Team Spicy. Represent. Let's go.
All right, got time for a couple of more.
Alrighty, there's so many in here already. I got plenty if you got the time. Here's $50 from Starlight Now that says GDQ is like a Splatfest. Great music, great cause, and great times. Saying that, Team Sweet's going to take the whole cake. And here's $20 here from Potato and Egg, making me hungry. Happy Splatfest and happy AGDQ. Go Team Sweet. This is going to the after Alterna run as that level absolutely destroyed both of us. And with that, we did meet the incentive. After Alterna is unlocked.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
All right, that's gonna be fun.
Okay, so just exited out of the game after we finished that Shiver fight right there, and now we are going to go to Site 5 and do the hardest trick in the run, if one of you would like to explain that.
Yeah, I'll take that. So you might notice that we have these giant power egg intensive barriers that are blocking the ends of all the sites, and we're going to try and go through Site 5 as quickly as possible. And to do that, we are going to play exactly 0 levels, because it turns out that in that fuzzy ooze that's blocking the exit of the site, there is this tiny gap that's not covering it that we can get ink on. But to get to that gap, we have to do a squid roll off of a geyser, which some of the geyser mechanics in Splatoon 3 are a bit weird, and so it can sometimes lock us into place and definitely makes getting that squid roll really hard. And on top of that, the trick is extremely precise. But if we get it, we save 3,000 power eggs, and that's kind of a lot.
Yeah, it's at least a couple of minutes. But this is, yeah, just extremely precise. I'm just going to be quiet and try to focus as I do it. Almost there. I gotta go through a little bit of Site 5 stuff first.
Yeah. Here we're just gonna do a little intended skip where we can just jump across the railings and just save 300 power eggs. And here we're just getting to the thing. To skip.
Yeah. Just try to line this up.
Yep.
I can't believe
Let's
it.
go.
Okay, Deathless there is very big.
Yes!
So you saw that first try, the geyser locked us into place, so we couldn't get that squid roll off. But second try, no problem. And we're in Site 6.
Second try is really good there. Like, as you can probably see, like, it doesn't even look like it looks like we're even touching the fuzzies. Like, it's just such a tiny area. And
I'd
we
even
just
call that a
made
1.5 try, because if you die there, you have to super jump back to the kettle that you unlocked as a safety, and that loses way more time than just failing to get the roll in the first place. So
Yep.
that's
you
like
super jump. You got to reset up. There's a lot that goes on when you take a duck going for skip there. I don't know if we actually said its name.
all right. We are going to be doing menu storage coming up right away, which involves storing the third menu option of the pause screen, and I'm going to do that right here before Big Man.
Yep. And I'll remain quiet for now since this is an audio-based trick.
Yeah, it is. Nope. Okay, that's fine. Nope. Take some time. That's okay. Nope. Ah, stubborn old menu storage. Late. Okay. I think that worked. Yeah, I'm gonna run it.
All right.
Hopefully I don't regret that. Because essentially, what's up with menu storage there? It saves the third option of that pause menu, right? The third option in the upcoming part is very broken, but usually you wouldn't have access to that in the first playthrough. I'm not going to be able to use that trick for about 15 minutes. So I have to trust that I made that work and that it is going to work for me at that later point in the run.
So
whatever.
Things we can't do now, pause the game. That will break the menu storage. Can't
Yep.
close the game and reopen it. Will also break the menu storage. We also can't die in certain parts of the run. So we're going to play... it's going to be extremely tight gameplay moving forward.
And here you're going to see that sensor upgrade coming into play. Like the real big man will be highlighted by a red cursor whenever we're in our ink. So that just makes this fight a lot easier, and that was something we didn't realize for a little bit when we're out in this game.
Yeah. One more thing to note out about menu storage is that this got patched out in version 2.0 of the game. I am on 1.2 right now, which is why I'm able to do it in the first place. It sucks that it got patched out, but it is a pretty broken power egg exploit, so I understand why.
Yep. Just by pausing the game at a certain location, you can just get infinite power eggs.
Yeah. We're using a different, utility of the trick that's better for speedrunners, but what can you do, really?
Yeah.
But hey, not going too bad right now. Taking down big man with a big plan. Sensor doing us good work right now. Ooh,
Probably
haven't
have
seen this
some time
pattern
for
in a while.
Probably have some time for some donations, right?
Yeah, I'd say so.
All right, here's a $100 donation from Spider-Roll that's going to make me work for it. Legends speak of a powerful cephalopod who trained in a cavern within Hidden Canyon. The Woomy Warrior, the most powerful and speedy of all. They could obliterate the mighty shark in but a single moment. They could leap over a geyser with serene grace. They could survive on nothing but the dew stuff that condenses on the outside of their ink tank. Maybe. Only the Woomy Warrior is said to be able to conquer Mount Woomy Doriyama. Find out on After Alterna. Because we unblocked After Alterna, you got that. Thank you, chat. Thank you, community. Y'all are doing amazing already. We're already at, let me pull up the exact number here, $9,846, and we're not even 40 minutes into the run. We're amazing.
Yeah, we have a bunch of mashing and a cutscene for the next minute or so you can go for a few more.
Alrighty, here is $150 from Quantum Jump that says, Woomy! I'm always hyped when GDQ comes around. Both events are among my favorites of the year. Extra excited to see Splatoon 3 opening the show. Congratulations, LonTr0.
Thank you.
Here's a $25 donation from Jupiter Saturn that says, LonTr0 makes After Alterna look so easy. Good luck on your speedrun and good luck to all the runners during this GDQ. This is also for my sister who has her cancer removal surgery this month. Also, go Team Spicy. Best of luck to your sister. I hope it goes wonderfully, my friend. Here is a $33 donation with 30 cents added on there from our friend Puffy that says, glad my favorite small fry haircut is the most speedrun friendly haircut. Go Team Sweet! $20 from Ankylos that says, love the run, Team Spicy hype! And Super Tim Nintendo here with a $10 donation that says, another AGDQ. I'm super excited for this year. Good luck to all the runners and never lose the hype, Team Sour!
Okay, so we're about to get to the end of this cutscene, going into the rocket segment of the run. During this whole time, I'm holding menu storage, so try not to die. But we're going to do a skip immediately called Nether Skip, which is a cutscene skip for the first part, where I'm going to squid surge off of a small ledge here. Very finicky, though. I gotta see if I can get this quick.
Yep. Saves around, I guess, what is it, like 40 seconds minus like however much time we spend like setting it up, actually.
That's right.
So
Very
pretty
nice.
fast. Let's go.
Very nice. That was really good.
So yeah, now we can just kind of walk around the cutscene trigger and just keep going. Fun.
That's nice. And then we're gonna get into the first part of the rocket here, where they're going to take away all of our gear. Kind of unfortunate, but the one thing we still do have is Small Fry, and Small Fry is my best friend. So we're gonna do great things.
Yep. There's going to be like a lot of aggro manipulation and flutter cycle manipulation that we're going to try and do. So.
Oh, I thought I missed that. Okay. Terrifying. That still
Nice.
hit somehow.
Nice.
It looks so bad.
Yeah, it looked really weird. But by manipulating the enemies there, we can basically pop the balloon so that it pops all the enemies at once, which saves a little bit of time.
Not only that, but with our upgrade path, Small Fry can't really take a hit from those enemies either, so Small Fry gets got, Small Fry has to respawn, and it takes a lot of time for that, and we can't manipulate the enemies, and we can't pop the balloon, it just gets really bad.
Yep.
Right now, I'm
Here
just
we're
trying to go as fast as possible to make this flutter cycle. Yeah, that's probably what you're about to say.
Yeah, so there's this flutter cycle we're gonna make, and I guess we never mentioned what we are actually doing. We're grabbing keys because we have some lock boxes we need to open up. So that's what we're doing right now. We can't really progress until we grab both of these keys. So that's what we're doing right now. We're gonna grab this second key, open up the 2 lock boxes, and it'll allow us to paint this wall to progress. And we'll have a couple enemies we need to kill, and then we'll be able to just cheer on our Small Fry as he kills this last sniper.
Kill the Small Fry, go!
Go.
Yeah, 14 shots and this sniper goes down.
You could do it! Yeah!
Let's go.
It's 14 shots, but it feels like a year when you're just standing there doing nothing.
Alright, coming up right after this phase is the biggest time-saving strat in the entire run, if you guys would like to explain.
Oh, switch skip. Where do we get started with switch skip?
Oh,
It's
Want me
another
to
broken
explain?
tech involving squid rolls.
yes, exactly.
We're going to squid roll up a pipe, and it's going to look weird, and trust me, it is. It is extremely strange, but we can get height off of that pipe right there, and we can use it to get out of bounds. Maybe.
Ooh, I don't like that. Okay,
Yeah,
that's fine.
It falls off. It's a pretty finicky trick, as are most other big tricks in the run.
A lot of tricks in
that
this
works,
game are
yeah.
That looks
team-based.
good, yeah. You're not center locked, though. Yeah, so now we're out of bounds. And with a combination of jumps over planes that will result in
Death plane right there.
Death plane right there, we jumped over. And weird collision, like that wall that doesn't exist, and this floor that doesn't exist but actually does. We are now spat out at the intermission phase after we've skipped a section involving a lot of specials and an elevator auto-scroller section. Skips about 5.5 minutes of the run. And we can now go into the 4th phase of the rocket, because I haven't only done phase 1.
And it is still worth noting that, like, these next 2 phases are the hardest in the run, and if LonTr0 dies at any point, that menu stories will be popped. So, a little bit of stress here to stay alive, but LonTr0 can do it. But yeah, this is basically a spiral. We have to climb up it. Probably one of the most fun parts of the run. The music's just a bop here. It's so fun to listen to and just keep going, just up and up. And we're just going to be abusing Small Fry here just to manipulate the aggro of the enemies so that they just move out of our way or just stop shooting at us. Like you're going to see right here, or in a little bit, there's like a whole group of twinkles that are going to be swarming around us. But by throwing Small Fry at them, we can basically just ignore them. Right here.
Right there.
They're all just going to be really concerned about the small little guy trying to kill them.
Who? He doesn't do it quickly at this point. But
Yep.
they're all of a sudden the primary concern.
Then we're going to have a few tight jumps here.
That was pretty bad.
That looked
Yeah.
good. That can be a leap of faith sometimes.
And then we have this wall here.
Oh, that looks great. Thank you.
Nice. And then we had the final stretch of the climb where we're just trying to avoid these bowling balls. Nice. You can throw a splat bomb there and it will sometimes destroy the bowling balls early, which just saves a slight amount of time from not having to avoid them. And then here we're in the final stretch and we're going to be moving on to the next phase, which will be introducing a special that we haven't really seen this run, the Zip Caster. And
Yeah.
it's going to be a really fun and broken part of the run. Basically, by aiming the Zip Caster at a seam in the wall, or in the ceiling, I guess, and hitting the switch after we collect all these orbs, then we'll be able to clip out of bounds and basically skip the rest of the phase just by climbing up the outside of the wall. So it's a pretty big time save. So let's see here.
No! Okay. That's okay. That's okay. I didn't get that.
Ooh, but
Hands
yeah,
too
basically
shaky.
all good. So basically
okay.
there is an out of bounds trick. We didn't get it, but so we're just gonna have to go through this normally. We can't die to reset or anything because doing so would pop our menu storage. So we basically just have to go through this phase, just the normal strat.
That's unfortunate, but it is pretty finicky, and you have to be on the very edge of the top ceiling. If you clip the bottom, like I did there at all, then it's not pushing you, so you can't clip out of bounds.
But we need to get to show off some cool applications of the Zipcaster, which we had a couple of the Zipcaster levels in the run for a while, but with some of those big end of sight skips that we showed off, those were all routed out.
Yep. But we never
Like
died
a
at
time
any
for
points.
donation.
Yeah.
Donations it is then. Here is a $25 donation from Chas ML that says, just finished my own all bosses run of Symphony of the Night for the first time today. Would love to see how much quicker it could have been done. Since we unlocked after Alterna, we have opened up several other bid incentives, including Castlevania Symphony of the Night, the upgrade to all bosses category. Got to raise $10,000 for that one, and I'm seeing it's already about $810. I refreshed and it went up again. Y'all are amazing with this. So be sure when you're donating to double check all of the incentives and select the one you want to put your donation to unlock more GDQ, to unlock so many more interesting runs that we couldn't have gotten otherwise. Also, like the bonus game, our first one, Cuphead, coming up later today. It's a 300% run. I didn't even know that existed until now. We still got time where I can fill the
This
air
is
with
a
all these
4-minute
donations.
cutscene. I'll have to explain stuff at the end, but
Ooh.
go nuts.
Alrighty, hello, Mr. Grizz. With that, we do have a lot of $25 donations that came through, so we're gonna blast through a $25 donation train. Here's JC with $25 that says, so excited that AGDQ is back. Go speedrunners, make this event a special one. $25 here from Bookworm42 that says, here's to a great AGDQ, starting off strong with an amusing pre-show. Good luck to all of the runners, and thank you to all the staff and volunteers. Our friend Wolfie here, first-time marathon watcher, first-time donator, great cause, and can't wait for the runs. The Stardew Valley runners in particular. Big fan of the Stardew Valley run. Be sure, specifically for that, make sure to check out all of the amazing prizes we have. There's a candle, that's what I was looking at earlier, for Stardew Valley. It's just called the Valley Scented Candle, and it looks really cozy. Stuff like that you won't see anywhere else. Make sure to check out the prizes when you're donating. $25 donation here from Choppy that says, a donation for a very meaningful foundation. Good luck to all speedrunners. $25 here from Lewis that says, I love watching the pre-show, and this year is no different. Thanks for everything everyone has done to make this event a huge success all these years. Good luck to all the runners at AGDQ 2023. Captain Swag 101 with a $25 donation here says, it's that time of year again. Happy to be supporting GDQ throughout this week, this time starting early. Donation goes towards the Symphony of the Night. All bosses upgrade incentive. Love that game. Thank you for the donation. Love it. Going to an amazing cause. You're so fantastic. $20 here from Dr. Abyss that says, another year, another AGDQ. So excited to see all the great runs for a great cause. This is going towards Cuphead 300%. More Splatoon donations coming in. I love to see it. Smash Bro D with $20 here saying, best of luck, LonTr0, and here's to a successful marathon as a whole. Go Team Sweet, who's currently in first place. Darn it. Another $100 donation here from Sugar Woomy that says, go Team Sweet. Well, donating helped me win in the Splatfest. It does, right? Well, if you donate $100 like that, then you get bonus points specifically for me as the host that goes towards your Splatfest score. I promise it's legit.
One more.
Man, I forgot how long this cutscene was.
It's really long.
All right, then here's $100 from Deniable Credibility, a fantastic name. Told myself I'd watch and donate later in the marathon, but then I saw that there's a challenge to upgrade Symphony of the Night to all bosses, and it's on at a time I can actually watch. I would consider it a favor to me if everyone would smash that goal as quick as possible so I can see one of my favorite speedruns on the very first day of the marathon. Let's go!
All right, chat. Surely I have storage, right? So what essentially menu storage is going to do for us, remember that we stored the third menu option and that we have held it by not dying throughout all of that rocket. So now, you're not supposed to have the third button option in any percent because it is skip, which skips a phase. But because of how storage works, it's going to automatically select skip once I go through and press plus here, assuming I have storage. And it is going to be very funny how that looks.
Yes.
Big fight with Mr. Grizz. Looks so intimidating.
He's so menacing.
Goodbye.
Let's go.
Who wins, one bear or a plus button?
See ya.
The plus button took this one. Well, that was the first phase of Grizz. We did nothing. But
Yeah, that's pretty optimal.
Yeah, that was pretty optimal. That saves about 3 minutes. So we intentionally sacrificed a 7-second close and reopen the game earlier to preserve our menu storage in Big Man. I didn't even mention it. 3 minutes is a little bit more than 7 seconds last I checked.
Just a little bit.
So, yeah.
But yeah.
Now, Grizz wants to unleash Harmageddon upon the world. Octavio is now on our side.
I guess
Yeah, we
something
get to actually see cutscenes with deep cut. Sorry, what's up?
All of you could.
like I guess we skipped all the deep cutscenes, and so now they're on our side for some reason.
Yeah, that's weird. You just get to this point in the game in the speedrun, it's like, oh, we fought them as bosses earlier. I guess they're helping us now? Like, what's up with that? Seems a little weird, but hey, we'll take it.
Yeah, I always like to think about this run from the perspective of the Octo that we're controlling, that none of this makes sense.
Who are these
And
people?
there's a couple
Why are they
logical
here?
flaws, like, yeah, I don't know how small fry made it up here in space, or how we caught the rocket on a shark riding a trail of eels, but now it's time for Small Fry's final evolution into Huge Fry. Sporting our signature Small Fry hairstyle number 3, the Mohawk.
And then this final section of the run, we're going to be basically controlling Octavio's mech suit, and we're going to have to fly around and suck up the fuzz balls all over Grizz's body. There's going to be like 4 of them, and we have to get them. Like, you can see them on his body right there. Those pink orbs. So we're going to have to just avoid the fake ones and just suck those up.
Yep. Tag team combo. Huge Fry distracts. We go in for the kill. Let's do this.
And we're going to have 3 minutes and 33 seconds to do it. I think we'll have enough time for it, but
I mean, surely, right?
surely.
Yeah. it's worth noting you can die in this section. I'm part of an in-joke in the Splatoon community where we call dying in the final fight here and in Octo expansion out of moments because I'm guilty of doing that way more often than I should be.
I've almost done it in both games, but I haven't managed to do it in a run.
Let's hope for no out of moments here.
I'm actually intentionally going to go a little slow on this first one. This lines up a cycle with how Grizz and Huge Fry act, and it's going to save me a few seconds by going slower. Seems weird, but it makes sense when you do it.
And just a thing to say, like, enemies will be spawning while we're doing all this, and if we're hit with an attack, then it will knock us out, so we have to deal with those enemies.
Good point, yeah.
So that's why we kind of had to pop out there for a second. And then another thing worth noting is that these orbs are fake buzzballs and whatnot. If we hit them, they will knock us all the way back, which will lose us a pretty good chunk of time and break our armor. So we want to avoid that as much as we can, but the patterns are all preset, so it's pretty easy to avoid them.
Nice.
Nice. We can just barely get that buzzball before the hoppers come in and knock us out of it, so pretty nice there.
Enemies that we would have seen in one of the other 60-something kettles that we didn't play.
Yeah, we played 2 normal kettles and then 3 bosses. That's it.
Out of like 67 kettles or something. It's like silly, like so much of the run we're able to skip.
Really, this is the only pattern of enemies that can really mess us up, and even then, it's not particularly difficult.
Ooh, I was kind of close to the ball there. Okay. Everything's fine.
Very nice.
Time is coming up pretty soon. It's going to be when this text appears at the bottom, I will call it. Or when it disappears, sorry. Which is in about 5 seconds. Coming up soon, coming up soon. And time.
Very
Woo!
nice. Nice
That
one.
wasn't too bad.
Yeah, well done, yeah.
Pretty happy with how that went. All the big stuff. Hope that was pretty entertaining. And we met the donation incentive for after Alterna. So I am going to switch files so we can actually go and do that. Because after Alterna only unlocks when you've beaten every stage in the single player. Yeah, we skipped a few. So gotta hop on my main for that.
Yep, and you'll also be seeing all the upgrades in the run. Basically, like, since this is already on a completed file, we can set up all the maximum upgrades and whatnot. So you're going to see a few subs we didn't see in the run. You'll see small fries, splat bombs, and then you'll also see curling bombs and burst bombs, which are really useful for the run. Curling bombs just allow us to lay down ink and go faster, and burst bombs allow us to paint walls really quickly.
Yeah. Nabobin, you're the resident expert of AA, so you're going to probably be talking about most of the stuff here as I go through. But time will start for AA when this screen, or I guess when I enter the kettle, so I'll count it down when we get going here. Ready to go? So 3, 2, 1, go.
So after Alterna is the longest level in the Splatoon series. Even whenever we're speedrunning it, it takes like around like 8 to 9 minutes just to get through it all. Even going as fast as we can. There's going to be 4 sections. So we have this first platforming section. Basically, we're just going to be doing a lot of platforming, and it's going to really make us make use of the new squid roll and squid surge mechanic. Just going to hop across these platforms here. And so I think coming up here, we're going to see our first use of like how we're forced to use the squid roll, or squid surge, I mean. You're going to see these uninkable walls here. We can't climb those normally. We have to charge up a squid surge, and then it'll barely make us able to get across them. Then we're going to have to time it so that we avoid these moving platforms right here, and just keep going. And it is worth noting that part of the reason that AA is so hard is that if we die at any point, we will have to go back to the beginning of the phase. So basically just think about just if any time LonTr0 falls here, then we're going to have to go back to the very beginning and start all over again.
Yeah, AA is certainly not nice at all with checkpoints.
Nope. But that's part of what makes it kind of a nice level. Just difficulty of it
That's
is
what
really
you're all
something we
here
haven't.
for.
Yeah, difficulty of it is really just what makes it so fun. Just it's the hardest level in the series, and just we haven't really seen anything as difficult, really. At least platforming related, I would say. And here we have, so one of the new upgrades in this game is we have Ninja Squid, which allows us to just avoid detection from enemies. It doesn't slow us down like it does in the multiplayer aspect, but it is really nice for just avoiding aggro on enemies and whatnot. And here we have a local cycle at the end. This cycle doesn't start until like around a quarter of 3/4 of the way through the stage, and we're just gonna have to hop across these platforms and get to the end. So I'll stay quiet here. Nice.
Very nice.
So yeah. So now we're gonna actually have a checkpoint. So I said it was split into 4 phases. So from now on, if we die here in this phase, we're gonna start at the beginning of here. Like you saw there, we got a checkpoint here. So it's nice that we don't have to start all the way back at the beginning if we die. But still a hefty time loss whenever we do die. But this is mostly an auto-scroller. It's basically an aim lab, if you would say. We just have to pop these balloons and it'll reveal some rails. And
Yeah.
pretty much
The level
just rinse and
3
repeat.
The level 3 hero shot isn't as nice as it is in something like Splatoon 2, so you can get screwed by shot RNG pretty hard when going for these balloons, but you could also try and clutch with burst bombs and whatnot, but that gets really scary fast.
Yeah.
Just hoping I pop them all, you know?
I believe right now we would have time for a few donations though, since this is basically an auto-scroller at this point.
Yeah, a couple would be fine.
Alrighty then, here is a $500 donation from our friend Anonymous. No message attached, but wow, $500 and a fantastic reminder that every donation matters, no matter if you put a name to it, no matter what the amount is. We appreciate every single one of them going to a fantastic cause, so thank you for that. Here's a $50.22 donation from Too Shy Shy that says, just like the winner of the Splatfest, this AGDQ is gonna be sweet. So thank you for that. Love it. I'm going to try and fix what I did earlier here with the prizes. Since we're playing a fantastic game known as Splatoon 3, if you look on our prize section here, we do have some Splatoon-related prizes, like this Chum bobblehead plush toy, a Splatoon golden egg ceramic bowl. There's even a handcrafted skateboard deck decorated for Splatoon. It's amazing. Splatoon button set, Splatoon inking a view painting. I love the pun. All those are for a minimum donation. $50 for the skateboard deck would enter you for every single one of those. So be sure to check out the prizes. All the fantastic things you win because we win with your donation.
So this is the block section above, if you'd like to talk about it.
So this is another new mechanic in this. A new.
Oh my god.
Oh. Okay,
That
so this,
was about as bad as it could be, but I lived.
yeah, you lived. Let's go. So these blocks, you have the ink, the edges, you have the ink those specific blocks to extend them out. If the enemies shoot them, then they'll retract like they did there just earlier, as you can see. It can be a little bit scary, but Small Fry here does a lot of damage. He has a upgrade called Damage Up, so it allows him just to basically just melt through these sponges, blocks, whatever you want to call them. Soaker blocks, that's what they're called. But basically, it just allows us to really progress quickly through that part of the run, because he just sends them going real quick. And then here we actually have a checkpoint, which is really generous. So if we die from now on, we'll go back there. And here we're gonna see another use of the splashdown that I found out. So if I time a splashdown here,
Nice.
Very nice. So that basically allows us to make the first cycle there and save a little bit of time over trying to just wait for another cycle. And pretty much we just have a little auto scroller here towards the end. We're just trying to just make sure our missile copter doesn't bump into any of the circuit blocks. So we're gonna try and manage that as much as we can. But other than that, I think we have time for like 1 or 2 donations.
1 or 2 donations. Then here's a $10 donation from. Oh, I should have pronounced this a little bit more to myself before I did it. Dipra Spog, that says, "Hey all, long-time watcher, first-time donator. Love this event to bits, and it's great hopping on a Discord call with friends twice a year to enjoy some speedruns. Love you all. Keep up the great work. Less than 3."
Okay, we're going to be getting into the last section of A here, the Octoling section. This is pretty chaotic. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, small fry is going to be really helpful here because his damage up allows us just to one-shot all these octos. Makes it easier than timing with a splat bomb, so we're just going after these enemies in a specific pattern, just so that we can manipulate the spawns, and also just it makes it convenient, the routing and everything. We do have an armor here, so we're trying to keep it as much as we can, because once we get to the third phase, everything's just going to get really hectic. The Octolings are going to start throwing out specials and everything. You're going to be seeing like a bunch of wave breakers, big bubbles, all the multiplayer specials basically. And it's going to be a little bit hectic. And we're also picking up these specials right here. We don't necessarily need the splashdown, but later on a reach slider appears, which will save us a little bit of time.
Where are you going, Brush? Okay, there we go.
Yeah, the Octoling AI can be a little bit hard to deal with, so this section of the run is a bit luck dependent, I would say. But now we're getting into the last part.
Uh-oh. Okay, this is really bad. I don't know what to do. Where's 6? Okay. That's not
normal
work.
cycle, I think.
Oh, there's a roller behind me. I'll have to deal with it later.
So yeah, there's normally a manipulation here we do here, just so that the Octolings spawn in the same locations every time. It's a little bit precise, but
Oh, I'm in rain.
that's that.
Yeah.
All good though. So yeah, if we die at any point, we have to start over from the beginning of the phase. I mean, so we're just gonna have to see those first 2 phases before we can go back to the last one. But it's pretty much just
saw is how quickly you can die once your armor is broken.
yeah.
And when things get out of hand, they get really out of hand.
It is so easy just to die in this phase. It took me a while just to complete this.
I got messed up early in phase 3 there, plus I had my armor broken before, so it was a tough fix, but let's see what I can do this time.
Yep, you got this.
Where are you two going?
So yeah, the specials spawn in the same order every time, so that's how we can get that reach slider basically just consistently, just by picking it up whenever we can.
Oh, I like this way more.
Yeah.
This is the standard opening for phase 3.
And then this roller spawns in.
This should be a lot nicer this time. If I could hit that one. Okay, there's one back. Move forward here, and then so I need to deal with you. There's an chip behind me. Although honestly, you got out of it. Okay, we're fine.
Nice.
I had armor. We're good.
And that's the end of AA.
And time is there.
So yeah, pretty hefty as you can see.
Woo! Not bad.
Yep. Only 1 death. Pretty nice.
Not bad at all.
That
Worth
marks
mentioning
the end of
that
everything.
816 IGT does not include the death. Your in-game time resets at the start of every checkpoint, so
But yeah,
Time
that
there, but
is
that isn't counted.
that's all we got for Splatoon 3 here. I want to make a shout out personally. Well, first to the Splatoon speedrunning community for developing so much about this game, but also Owen Splat, Moxie K, and Switch for like their massive contributions and skips to this game. This game would be an hour and 10 minutes without them, so thank you. Anyone you guys would like to shout out?
I forget if you mentioned we have a speedrunning Discord for the Splatoon community at large. You can find that linked on the speedrun.com page for any of the games. If you see this and you want to pick it up, that's certainly a great place to start. Lots of people certainly willing to answer your questions, help you get started.
Yep. Not really much for me to shout out either. The Splatoon community is really welcoming. So feel free to come by if you're interested.
Yeah, but that's about all that we got for you. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy the rest of AGDQ 2023. Peace.